Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. This is GCL and today we'll discuss about the role of the project manager in project management. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to distinguish the different types of project organization, understand the role of project managers in the success of a project, and of course, identify the key skill sets a project manager must have in managing projects. So, if you're ready, let's start. So, before we start our discussion about the role of project managers in managing projects, let us first define what management is all about. So, according to Harold Kuntz, management is the art of getting things done through others and with formally organized groups. Also, according to F.W. Taylor, management is the art of knowing what you want to do and then seeing that they do it in the best and cheapest way. So, when we say management, this is not just about you. This is about people with different skill sets, with different personalities. This is about putting resources together to achieve what you want in the most cheapest way possible. Also, according to George R. Terry, management is a distinct process consisting of planning, organizing, actuating, and controlling, utilizing in each both science and art, and followed in order to accomplish predetermined objectives. So, management is a process from planning to organizing to gathering resources to use your skills, controlling, and everything so that you will accomplish your predetermined objectives. So, in short, management is about pulling resources together and leading people to achieve a desired end. So, in management, there is a desired end, there is a goal, there is an objective, and to achieve these objectives or goals, we need to pull out these different resources together and then leading people together so that you will achieve that desired end. It involves a process of planning, organizing, staffing. When you say staffing, this is putting people in their respective tasks, and then directing and controlling. So these are the 5 key processes in management. Okay, so now that you have understood what management is all about, now let's go to the project organizations. So there are different types of project organizations. When we say project organization, this means the style of managing a project. A project organization may fall into any of the following. Number 1, you have functional organization. Number 2, we have matrix organization, which is further subdivided into weak, balanced, and strong. And finally, we have the projectized organization. So we'll discuss these project organizations in our succeeding slides. A functional organization, it is an organization whose structure is divided according to their functions. When we say functions, these are the different functions of managers or people within an organization. For example, if you are assigned in the marketing department, then the marketing is your function. If you're an accountant, then you are in accounting department. If you are in sales, you are in sales department, then sales is your function. So we have here a structure. We have the chief executive, we have the sales manager, operations manager, and the human resource manager. And they have their own staff. So we can see that this organization is divided according to their functions. So the sales manager is responsible for the sales, the operations manager is responsible for the operations, while the HR manager is responsible for the human resources, the staffing, the hiring process, the payroll, and so on. So in a functional organization, actually, there is a project coordination, but only between the functional managers. Okay, so when you say functional managers, these are the people assigned on their respective functions. There is a project coordination between these functional managers, but among them, there is no project manager. So, for example, if this organization would like to have a new hiring process, a system, for example, this is a project, and the executive would tap the HR manager, the operations manager, and the sales manager. These functional managers may not know that there is a project, but they coordinate to have this new hiring system. Okay? So, in short, in a functional organization, there is no assigned project manager. Each of the functional managers are responsible on their own job, on their own functions. They might not even talk to each other, communicate to each other about the new project. They don't know. All they know is that they are working on their own. The next project organization is the weak matrix organization. In this organization, the functional manager is in charge. So we have here the chief executive, again, the functional managers and their staff. There is a project coordination between the lower level. They might know that there is a project, but again, there is no assigned project manager. All of them, all of the functional managers, the sales manager, the operation manager, the HR manager are still doing their own job. So in our example, the new hiring process, the staff might know that there is a project, that is the new hiring process system, but there is no project manager. All they know is that they have to coordinate. They have to talk to each other. In a balanced matrix organization, there is a project manager and a functional manager. So let's go back to this structure. So we have here the project manager, the staff. There is an assigned project manager, but the project manager himself is also under the functional manager. Therefore, though there is a project manager, but his authority, his decisions, his responsibility is only limited and subject to the review of the functional manager. So we have here again the project coordination between them, and there is a project manager, but again the project manager's responsibility, authority, and power is only limited because again he is subject to the authority of the functional manager where he belongs to. In a strong matrix organization, there is a project manager. So he can make decisions, but of course, not all decisions. So again, let's go back to this organization. So the project manager now has more responsibility and more authority, and he can decide. He can make decisions, but of course, not all, because he will still be subject to the decisions of his head, the chief executive. Okay? So between the weak, the balanced, and the strong matrix organization, project manager has more authority, has more power in the strong matrix organization. Okay, so when we say weak, there is no project manager, but there is coordination between the lower lines. They know there is a project, but they don't know where to report. They are doing what their functions are. In a balanced organization, there is a project manager, at the same time a functional manager. The project manager can decide, but not everything, because he is subject to the decisions, the approval of the functional manager. In a strong matrix organization, there is a project manager, and his decisions are not subject to the approval of a functional manager. Okay, but again, his decisions are also limited because he will still be subject to the approval of his head, the chief executive. So the last project organization is the projectized organization. In the projectized organization, the project manager is the king or queen. He can decide everything and he's not subject to limitations. So there is a project manager, he can do everything, he can decide. There's no limit to his authority or decision. So in the projectized organization, there is an absolute power for the project manager. So what do you think is the best project organization? Well, it depends. For example, if the company's project is not really subject to deadlines, I mean it's extended over years or period, then there's no need to have a projectized organization. The functional managers can still work on their own. But if the company's project is constrained with time and it has to be done immediately, urgently, then it has to have a projectized organization so that every resources is focused on this particular project. So now let's discuss who is a project manager. A project manager is someone who oversees a team of people working on a specific and unique endeavor with a common goal at hand. His primary responsibility is to ensure that all work is completed on time, within the budget and scope, and at the correct performance level. He understands the mission and the vision of the organization and relate this mission and vision to the project they are managing to ensure that the interests of the organization are met. So the project manager is someone who leads a team. Okay, you can't be a project manager without a team. If you are the project manager, you are that someone who has the responsibility to ensure the quality of the work while working on the budget and time and the scope, of course. So you have that responsibility. I mean, he plays a critical role which is clearly visible throughout the project. When you are a project manager, you will not just be a manager in one day or for a day. You will be the project manager for the entire duration of the project, from the start to the end of the project. You are involved in a project from its initiation through closing, and these activities may include consulting with executive and business unit leaders on ideas for advancing strategic objectives, improving organizational performance, or meeting customer needs. So you are not just there for the planning or for the implementation or for quality control, but there are other activities that you might be doing which are necessary to complete the project. He may also be called upon to manage or assist in business analysis, business case development, and aspects of portfolio management for a project. So again, you are not just a manager for a day or for that specific duration. You are the project manager for the entire process, which means even before the initiation phase, you will be working as a project manager. If you need to do something which is not covered in the project but are necessary to finish the project, then again, you will be responsible for that. A project manager may also be involved in follow-on activities related to realizing business benefits from the project. The role of project manager may vary from organization to organization. Ultimately, the project management role is tailored to fit the organization in the same way that the project management process are tailored to fit the project. So again, it depends. The role of the project manager depends on the size of the organization or the scope of the project. But the common thing is that as a project manager, you will be there throughout the entire process. Okay? You will be there in every activity are needed to finish the project. The role of project manager is distinct from that of a functional manager or operations manager. So as I have said in our previous discussion, that when we say functional manager, this is a person or manager assigned for specific functions like sales manager or accounting manager or finance manager. Okay, so they are responsible for a specific function, while operations manager is someone who is assigned for the operations of the business. The project manager's role is different from that of a functional manager and the operations manager. The project manager's role is very specific on that particular project that is independent from the role of the functional manager or the operations manager. So the functional manager focuses on providing management oversight for a functional or business unit, while operations manager are responsible for ensuring that business operations are efficient. The project manager is assigned by the performing organization to lead a team that is responsible for achieving the project objectives. So while the functional manager's responsibility is very broad and the operations manager is also broad, it's recurring. The role of the project manager is specific for that particular project. Okay? So it has a duration. It has a start, it has an end. Okay? So this is the project manager's sphere of influence. So we have here, if you can see in your screen, this the project manager. The very first people that a project manager will consider or will have to communicate or will have to lead is of course the project team, his own team. These are the first people to be influenced by the project manager. The next is the sponsors. These are the governance, the higher management level, which has the interest in the project. And the last will be the stakeholders, the suppliers, customers, and end users. So in the project manager's sphere of influence, this sphere of influence, those people that he would be really talking every day will be the project team, his own team. Next will be the sponsors, the governance, the higher management. Okay, his communication to higher management might not be every day, but it can be a week or a month or on regular basis, depending on their deadlines. And then we also have the stakeholders, suppliers, customers, and end users. So actually, the project manager might not have a direct communications to them, but they are still necessary to be considered in managing a project. So here are the key skill sets that a project manager should have. So recent PMI studies apply the project manager competency development or PMCD framework to the skills needed by project managers through the use of the PMI talent triangle. So the first key skill set is technical project management, and these are the knowledge, the skills, and behaviors related to specific domains of the project, program, and portfolio management. So if you are going to be a project manager, you should have at least a technical knowledge on what is the project all about. So for example, if you are an auditing graduate, then manage projects which are auditing related. But if you are an engineer, it might be difficult for you to be assigned to projects involving hiring process because you don't have the technical knowledge or skills. You are focused on your engineering works. Okay? So again, it is important that when you are the project manager, you should have at least the basic knowledge, technical skills on that project. Next, we have leadership. This is the knowledge, skills, and behaviors needed to guide, motivate, and direct a team to help an organization achieve its business goals. So when you are a project manager, you should be acting like a leader, a true leader. You should guide and motivate and direct your people, your team to help achieve the organization's objectives. So it's not enough that you are knowledgeable, you are technically proficient in that project. It is also important that you have these soft skills, these leadership skills. Next, we have strategic and business management skills. These are the knowledge of and expertise in the industry and organization that enhance performance and better delivers business outcomes. So if your work experience is on, let's say, IT, it would be difficult for you to be assigned in a project involved in accounting, right? Or if you have been working for the past 10 years in a distribution business, it might be difficult for you to be involved in a project in a business process outsourcing, because distribution business is different from a BPO business or industry. So let's have first the technical project management skills. According to research, the top project managers consistently demonstrated several key skills, including but not limited to the ability to, number one, focus on the critical technical project management elements for each project they manage. So if you are really a good project manager, you have this ability to focus on what is critical, what's crucial in the project. You know how to handle the project. You know what should be done when this happened. You know what to do when there is a rework. Okay? So you know how should things be done. As I have said, it will not be advisable for anyone to just manage any project, especially if you don't have the technical background about that particular project. For example, in my case, I'm an accountant, I can do auditing, I can do financial reporting, but if I would be assigned as a project manager of, let's say, setting an IT system, it's not my field of expertise. I cannot do that. I'm not an IT graduate. For you to be a good project manager, you must have the technical skills on what should be done in this project. This focus is as simple as having as the right artifacts readily available. For example, I have this funny experience way back 2017, and I was working for as an offshore accountant of Avrix Consulting Management, and then I was assigned to migrate the data from the old QuickBooks to a new QuickBooks, and I don't have the skill for that. I don't know what to do. I know how to balance the balance sheet. I know where to look data. I know where to look figures. I know how to read figures, but I don't have the technical skills to migrate data from the old QuickBooks to the new QuickBooks. So it took me 1 month to actually finish the job, where it can be done for a week or days only, because again, I don't have the skills. So if you would become a project manager, it is necessary that you have the technical skills before you dive into project management. So at the top of the list were the following. Number one, critical success factors for the project. Two, schedule, and then selected financial reports and issue log. So these are the first ability that you as a project manager must have. So second skill under technical project management skills is to tailor both traditional and agile tools, techniques, and methods for each project. So as a project manager, you should know what is the right method or tool or technique to deal with this particular project. You won't be asking, of course, you would be needing help from other people. You would be needing expertise and opinions or ideas from other people. That's part of your job. But as a project manager, you should know how to use this particular method into this particular project. Okay? You won't be asking how to do this step by step. It is not enough that you know what to do. It is also necessary that you know how to do it. And of course, the ability to make time to plan thoroughly and prioritize diligently. We also have to manage project elements, including but not limited to schedule, cost, resources, and risks. So those are the skills project managers should have under the technical skills. So next we'll go to the strategic and business management skills. This involves the ability to see the high-level overview of the organization and effectively negotiate and implement decisions and actions that support strategic alignment and innovation. This ability may include a working knowledge of other functions such as finance, marketing, and operations, and product and industry expertise. So it is not enough that you have the technical skills, that you know how to do the project, that you know what to do or how to do it. It is also necessary that you have these business management skills, that you know the basic management, that you have the working knowledge of other functions like the finance, the marketing, and operations. For example, if you are an engineering and you are assigned in a specific project, particularly in construction, for example, it is also necessary that you have the idea or you have the background on management and business management, like you know about finance, you know what is you are concerned about cost, you know marketing, you know the operations, you know that you have these skills. So again, it is again important that you have the expertise on your particular field, your technical field, your technical skills, but it is also important that you have at least the basic knowledge on business. This knowledge is also known as the domain knowledge. Okay? So, project manager should be knowledgeable enough about the business to be able to, first, explain to others the essential business aspects of the project. So why do we need business management skills? Is that for you to be able to explain, to relate, to influence other people which are not part of the team, the very essential aspects of this project. Why do we need this project? Why do we need to complete this? If you are the manager and you will be confronted in certain circumstances wherein you need someone's help that is not from your team, and you need to convince them because their help is very crucial so that you will achieve the organizational goals and objectives. So next is to be able to work with project sponsor, the team, and subject matter experts to develop an appropriate project delivery strategy. So if you are assigned in, let's say, an audit project, and then you know how to audit, you know how to make, to scrutinize evidence, you know how to investigate, but you don't know how to manage people, you don't even know how to assign tasks, then that is a sign that there is something that is wrong with the project manager. And finally, we have to implement that strategy in a way that maximizes the business value of the project. Okay, so project managers should seek out and consider the expertise of the operational managers who run the business in their organization. Again, as I have said, yes, as project manager, you have the technical skills, you have the idea on what to do, you have the knowledge on how to do it, and you have the basic business management skills, but there are certain circumstances that you might need the help of operational managers. There is no wrong in asking for help. These managers should know how the work performed in their organization and how the project plans will affect that work. So these operations manager who have the knowledge on how to do it, they can give you insights in how to improve your strategy in managing the project. The more the project manager is able to know about the project subject matter, the better. At a minimum, the project manager should be knowledgeable enough to explain to others the following aspects of organization: the strategy, the mission, the goals and objectives, the products and services, the operations, the market and the market condition, and of course, the competition. So these are the minimum knowledge that a project manager should have a knowledge about. So next, we have the leadership skills. This involves the ability to guide, motivate, and direct a team. These skills may include demonstrating essential capabilities such as negotiation, resilience, communication, problem solving, critical thinking, and interpersonal skills. Projects are becoming increasingly more complicated with more and more businesses executing their strategy through the projects. Project management is more than just working with numbers, templates, charts, graphs, and computing systems. Okay? A common denominator in all projects is people. People can be counted, but they are not numbers. They have emotions, they have feelings, they have different personalities. They're not robots. They can be hurt. They have their own egos. So, as a leader of the project, you must know how to touch these personalities. You must know how to influence. You must know how to motivate these people because they are the assets. They are the most important resource in project management. Without these people, without your team, there can be nothing. So even if you are very good in your field, even if you have the wide expertise in your field, even if you know how to really actuate the plan or the project, but you don't have the team, or you have a team, but they are not interested in your leadership skills or in your leadership styles, then that could be a big disaster. Dealing with people. A large part of the project manager's role involves dealing with people. The project manager should study people's behaviors and motivations. The project manager, you should strive to be a good leader because leadership is crucial to the success of the project in organizations. Qualities and skills of a leader under leadership skills. Being visionary. When you are visionary, you know what to do, and you can translate this knowledge, you can relate this knowledge to your team. And being optimistic and positive. There can be circumstances which might affect your team's morale, or their interest might fade during the process. And you have to keep them interested. Being collaborative. So, again, as a project manager, you cannot do this alone. You should know when to ask and who to ask. And managing relationships and conflicts. Another, we have communicating. So you should know how to communicate with your people. You can communicate in your own informal way, let's say through text or through chat, through personal message, through PM. You can do that. And of course, being respectful, courteous, friendly, kind, honest, trustworthy, loyal, and ethical. So we also have exhibiting integrity and being culturally sensitive, courageous, a problem solver, and decisive. So when we say integrity, you are straightforward, you are fair, okay? And when you say being culturally sensitive, meaning you respect each other's culture, because one member from your team might be from a different culture or belief, and you must respect that. Okay, you must be sensitive to that. And then you must be a problem solver. You know how to deal with changes. You know what to do when problem arise. And you are decisive. You are firm to these actions and decisions. Okay? And giving credit to others where due. You should not be akin lahat to. Okay? So, you should, for example, if someone made something very good, then give them the credit. Appreciate them. Then being a lifelong learner who is results and action oriented. As a project manager, it is always a challenge that you should continue to strive on how to improve better, and how to improve your skills, and of course, focusing on important things. And we have here having a holistic and systemic view of the project, taking into account the internal and external factors equally. We also have being able to apply critical thinking and identify him or herself as a change agent. So you, as a project manager, is a change agent. Being able to build effective teams, be service-oriented, and have fun, and share humor effectively with the team members. So these are the common leadership styles. Number one, we have the Laissez-Faire. This style allows the team to make their own decisions and establish their own goals, referred to as taking a hands-off style. So under the Laissez-Faire leadership style, you let your team to do their things on their own, to make their own decision. There's a separation between the team and the leader. You give them the instruction, they do their job, and then you let them make their own decision. And the next we have transactional, which focus on goals, feedback, and accomplishment to determine rewards. So in transactional, this is quite opposite with the Laissez-Faire, in which you work together as a team, you set goals, and you give feedback. You work on this project together, and you do things. For example, if you want everyone to be on time, then you should be on time. If you want someone to work overtime, then you work overtime. Next, we have servant leader. This demonstrates commitment to serve and put other people first. This focuses on other people's growth, learning, development, autonomy, and well-being. This concentrates on relationships, community, and collaboration. Leadership is secondary and emerges after service. So in this leadership style, the leader is acting as a servant. So you lead by serving them. Another, we have transformational. This empowers followers through idealized attributes and behaviors, inspirational motivations, encouragement for innovation and creativity, and individual consideration. So in transformational leadership, you empower your team. You motivate them, you inspire them, you encourage them to be more creative. So next we have charismatic. This able to inspire, is high energy, enthusiastic, self-confident, holds strong convictions. And finally, we have interactional. This is a combination of transactional, transformational, and charismatic. So where do you think you belong as a project manager? Laissez-faire, servant leader, transactional, transformational, charismatic, or interactional? I want to know your thoughts. Please comment them down, and I want to know what kind of leader you are. So this is the end of our discussion, and I thank you so much for watching this video. If you like this video, give me a massive thumbs up, and if you're new to this channel, please subscribe and click that notification bell. Okay? Thank you so much for watching.